Okay, 2 screens on the go. Sounds cool, right?
But what's the catch? After a few weeks with the Minisforum MDS-A156, I can tell you there are definitely some surprises. We're talking real-world use, PCs, Macs, even handheld devices, you name it. And yeah, there's the usual stuff, but I'm here for the details nobody else is showing. Let's not waste any time.
Buckle up, subscribe, and let's dive in.
Inside the box we get a quick start guide and a manual, and the star of the show, the monitor itself. There's also a full-size HDMI cable, which is a nice touch, 2 USB-C cables and a power adapter. No unnecessary fluff, just the essentials. First impressions, solid build. It's got an aluminium chassis which feels pretty premium, none of that cheap plastic creakiness you find on some budget models. The hinge is well built, locking into multiple positions, upright, tent mode, even fully flat. That versatility would be good for different setups. This thing is lightweight but not ultralight, about 1.7 kilos or just over 2 pounds. It's thinner than you would expect at 22 mils, so it should easily slip into most laptop bags. Now, let's be real. It's marketed for travel, but it's heavier than my MacBook, so in my guess, it's probably better for longer stays rather than quick coffee shop sessions. But here's where it shines. If you've got a mini PC or a compact desktop, this becomes a lifesaver. You're basically carrying a workstation with you. One small gripe though, it's a fingerprint magnet. That sleek aluminium finish, every smudge shows, so be ready for constant wiping. 2 15.6-inch IPS displays, 1080p. Not the highest resolution, but perfectly fine for most tasks. Color accuracy is decent for general use, but if you're doing serious color grading, you might want something else. Brightness is okay, good for indoors, but struggles a bit outdoors. Viewing angles are good though. Now here's the thing, you're capped at 60 Hz. And yeah, technically it's either 59.9 Hz and 60 Hz in the settings. No HDR either. Look, these are IPS, not AMOLED, which is fine for the price. But if you're a gamer looking for high refresh rates like 120 Hz or more, this isn't it. And here's another point, no touch sensitivity. Imagine if the bottom screen, or even both, were touch enabled. That would be awesome. Bottom line, good for productivity and casual use, but not quite pro level or gamer level. Also, the color game mode is 45% NTSC, which is around 72% sRGB, something to keep in mind if you're working with color sensitive tasks. Connectivity is where this gets interesting, and it's where we get into some of the nuances. Full-size HDMI, which is awesome, no dongle headaches. 2 USB-C ports, so you can power and display with a single cable if your device supports it. It works with Windows, Mac and even handhelds like the ROG Ally or Steam Deck. Speaking of handheld, let's throw a gaming phone into the mix. Asus ROG 9 USB-C in. Now, phones usually can't push the full 30 watts, so we're gonna need to juice it up with a power adapter through the second USB-C, just like that. This is a serious game changer for mobile productivity. Now, here's the deal with the HDMI versus USB-C. If you're using HDMI 1.4, which is pretty common, you're limited to duplicate screens in horizontal mode or one big display in portrait. Not ideal, and you'll need to plug in power adapter. However, when you plug in via USB-C, like with Minisforum 795S7, UN1250 or UMA90 Pro, and you get both power and display through a single cable. That's how these dual screens are really meant to be used, as separate monitors. And even if your USB-C device can't provide a full 30 watts of power, you can simply use the second USB-C port to power the monitor. You can do 2 unique monitors in extend mode, you can clone 2 identical screens, or sequence, stitch the 2 screens into one with 1920 by 2160 pixels resolution. Extended mode is fantastic for office work, just tweak the layout for natural cursor movement. You can even use it vertically for coding or reading. The OSD is straightforward. Basic settings like brightness and color temp, and yeah, there are some gaming presets, but the 60Hz refresh rate. Look, for casual gaming it's fine, but if you're into fast-paced competitive games, you'll probably want something with a higher refresh rate. The built-in speakers, okay for casual listening, but headphones or external speakers are a must. It's a good portable option for gaming on the go, but not ideal for serious home gaming. Also, there's no FreeSync or variable refresh rate, which means you might experience screen tearing in fast-paced games. The touchscreen would be nice for navigating, but as I mentioned earlier, there's no touchscreen. But if there was, that would be awesome. The hinge and kickstand give you a lot of flexibility for different setups. It's lightweight and portable, easy to throw in the bag, perfect for working on the go or in a coffee shop. One small gripe: the kickstand, while sturdy, isn't the most stable for long-term use. A VESA mount would have been a nice addition. Now let's talk power. Here's the thing, there's no built-in battery, which, depending on how you're using it, might not even matter. If you're plugging via HDMI, yeah, you'll need the included 30 watts power adapter. That's just the reality of it. But if you're rocking a modern laptop, PC or Mac with USB-C, you're in luck. A single USB-C cable handles both power and video, which is super convenient. No extra adapter is needed. Just keep in mind, if you're using it with a handheld, it will draw the power from the device battery, so keep an eye on that. And if you are plugging via USB-C and your device can't provide the 30 watts of power, you can use the second USB-C ports to provide power to the monitor. So, the Minisforum MDS-A156. Dual screens on the go. Is it worth it? Here's the breakdown. For productivity, absolutely. The dual 1080p displays give a huge boost to multitasking, and the versatile hinge lets you set it up just how you need it. Connectivity is solid, especially if you're using USB-C, which handles both power and display with a single cable. That's a major plus. Now, it's not perfect. The 60Hz refresh rate and the lack of touch sensitivity limits its appeal for serious gamers and those wanting a more interactive experience. Brightness can be an issue outdoors, and the kickstand, while functional, could be more stable. Also remember, HDMI users will need to use the power adapter. But here's the thing, the price. For what you're getting, it's hard to argue with the value. If you're looking for a budget-friendly way to boost your productivity with dual screens, and you're not a hardcore gamer or professional content creator, this is a solid option. It's a daily driver for most tasks, especially when you understand the nuances of its connectivity and power requirements. By the way, I also discovered recently this monitor is basically the UPerfect Delta 15.6, just repackaged.
Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one.
Family Pop TV.